Hey, 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 welcome to It's All Relative. It's me, Relly, so let's just go ahead and do it and get into it. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I really didn't think that this episode was giving us a whole bunch. Um, but it gave us just a little incy bincy little bit. What did I appreciate? I love seeing Phaedra with her kids. Was it Mr. President and the other one? I don't remember. To see that we've watched these babies grow up. Porsha was first pregnant with him, and so that he's like a little baller, want to smell like cinnamon because he want to smell edible. Okay, young man, we see you. I think I think Phaedra's doing a really great job with her kids. Again, not much going on. So, what are the things that really stuck out to me? I can appreciate K. Michelle wanting to see about her friend. I think that that is important when you are friends and some stuff seem like it's wild. I think it's okay to go tap 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 on the shoulder of your friend and go, "Friend, what is going on?" So I appreciate that she was like, "Girl, what made you go to hell like that?" And Shamea giving, well, she talked about my mom, so I felt like I wanted to talk about her mom. I'm always okay with it. Like if we are in war, like then we're warring. And I've been saying that and that's how I feel. So if that's where she took it, that's what it is. That's where it is. I am confused though about why um she would send like, "Oh, I invited her." You can't invite her. Especially like this is the part now. This is where it don't make sense, right? This is where 2 plus 2 equals 17 because you don't invite her to your husband's get together, his birthday party. You don't invite him for that. You do invite him for your launch of your bum rum or rum bum or whatever it's called. You do invite her to that after you talked about her mother. And I gotta be honest, I think that Porsha kept it as cute as it could be. It wasn't like F you, yo mama, you dirty. Like, cause right, if you on my phone after you say some craziness, then you gonna get cussed out. And that's really for real. I'd like to think that I could be a mature adult and I could just ignore the text. I think it depends on the day for me and what I got going on. I've noticed that when I'm super stressed, I turn up is the thing that I do. It's the thing I reach for the most. Like that's it. Because there needs to be a release. For me, I feel like there's a lot going on. I need a release. And if I get to cuss you one good time or maybe two, it gives the release that's needed. I think that's why people fight, right? You get all of this energy, this adrenaline's going, then what do? You have to put it somewhere. You want to punch people in the face, except I don't believe in, the pow pows. I don't like no fighting. So, yes, I think that K Michelle going to see about Shamea, I think is appropriate. I appreciated it. I liked it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's being a good friend. Good, bad, or indifferent, go see about them and just go, friend, you was dead ass wrong. Holding your loved ones accountable for poor behavior and not good, actions is appropriate. I think that's the thing you're supposed to do. So I like it. Okay, great. And child, I got everything in the background and I don't even care. I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open. I don't even know what's going on. But that's another story for another day. So now we get to I appreciated Porsha also. I think like I said, I think the way that she's taking all of this in stride is really great. But she had me when she went when she talking to Kay and she goes, "She's a habitual text shower." Porsha, shut up. Like, just cut this out and shut up. That is what people do. They go, "Let me show you the text," especially when she's decided that y'all ain't friends. Although I will give you this, Porsha, her behavior, real wishy washy, real wax on, wax off, real I don't trust her. I would not move forward with Shamea, not ever again in life. And I appreciate like, nah, it's World War III. I like it. Keep that, yeah. I'm okay with that. Which I do not have a dog in the fight, like whose side is or who's the winning side. I just you got to stand on it. I just feel like you got to stand on it, and Shamea is not standing on it. To pretend and play like everything's all right and send her this text message like, "Oh, well, we're doing this fun game," and girl, Shamea, now, god damn it, you just that's ridiculous for you to even think that you'd be met with anything other than bitch, fuck you. Because that's all I would have. Like, that constitutes you playing in my face. And that's when you, yeah, you would get the cuss out. Because no, you're not going to talk about the fact that my mother tried to sleep with your father at this dinner table in front of everybody. Like, that's something you say to me privately, one on one, or you don't, right? Like, if you do say it out here, then you know I'm just going to tell everything that you ever thought was sacred. See, it depends, right? Like, and sometimes I'm like, depends on the way that the friendship goes. Like, if we just happen to mutually go our separate ways, then I'm gonna let whatever rock. I'm gonna be a fortress. Whatever was held sacred in the vault is still in the vault. But when you come for me intentionally, like Shamea, you came for Miss Diane, she's supposed to unleash everything that was in that vault. Now, you get to do the same thing, Shamea, and y'all just gonna be spilling each other's tea, which, fine for every excuse me, fine for everybody else, but that's what it is. But I'm really just stuck on the fact that you would text her like, "Hey girl, I'm having this party. You wanna come and do your butt?" Like, cut this out. Like, just stop it. That really upsets me so much. What else did I appreciate? I really appreciated Porsha and us watching Porsha go through this dating situation and her being somewhat uncomfortable with openly dating a woman, like, to be in relationship with this woman, excuse me, or this man, and that, having a baby is something that he really wants and not something that she's interested in. Those are really great conversations. I think it's also I think it's fun. I think it's healthy. I think it's appropriate. This is what dating looks like. And I really need to be clear about what do I see for my future and what you see for your future and if they align or not. I love it. And I think there's some other things that need to be talked about when you're dating and you're thinking about a life together. You have to think about all of it. Like, I don't do any cleaning. I'm not interested in doing any cooking. How much sex are you anticipating having, per week? Like, we need to talk about these things. And if we did have kids, well, what does it look like? What do you want our kids, or the blending of our family, what does that look like? Does that look like, as far as spirituality, is that, church on Sundays? Like, what does that look like? What is this, head of the household nonsense look like? Do you believe in that? Right. So that all of that has to come up. And we have to talk about family. What is the deal breaker for your family? Because, see, your family can't come in my house. Your mother, your father, your auntie, all that can't come in here with the disrespect. I'm not. They can't give me disrespect at their house, because wherever disrespect is given is where disrespect shall be returned. That is in the book of Relly, chapter 1, verse 3. Like, thou shalt not play with me. And perhaps that's because I'm a woman of a particular age, right? Like, I'm 46 years old. So I'm just not here to have your family like me. So what does that look like if your family, don't fool la la with me? I've done on the podcast with M on Shades, we talked about when the families don't like the person that they're getting married to, their partner, and they over there trying to call off the wedding and bribe people to not get married, and you just ain't got to do all that because we don't got to do this. You understand? And that's almost like I'm going off topic, I'm going left, I'm gonna come back right. And it's like, could I date someone who had MAGA, like, family members? Because, like, maybe they're not MAGA. So could I date outside of my race? Perhaps. And I oh, I get flooded, not flooded with this, but it makes me think about it because some of my best friends are white. And I am somewhat mistrustful as a whole, and not because of what you'll say to my face, but because of what you'll say behind my back. And I wonder, like, could I date with someone who had family that was MAGA? Like, maybe they're not MAGA, but their family's MAGA. And it's like, we would need to go to the house, like, and like, okay, everyone, take a step forward if you if you voted, one way, and take a step back if you voted another way. Like, I need to know. And are there people that voted, for MAGA that I think are good people? Yes. That are kind people, that care about people? Yes. But I just think that how they care about people and the way that I care about people, they're just different. We're just on different scales. And that's why I don't think that could work. And so, what would that look like? I'm not going to sit at a dinner table and some tomfoolery's going on. I'm just not going to do it. So then, what does that look like, right? And what we have capacity for in our family, because people, oh, that's just my mom, and that's just how she is. Yes, 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 I get that. That is your mom, and that's how you accept it. She's not my mom, and I'm just not going to tolerate those things. And that's how that's going to go. So, how I got here, I don't freaking know. Dating conversations. There we go with Porsha and her dating. But yes, I really appreciate it. And can I be honest with you? I am not a lesbian. I don't have no problem with people who are. You know, do the things that make you happy. It's just not for me. But Sway has a thing about her. I went, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Sway got a thing. Yeah. It's, I don't know. I don't know what it is. And I guess if I had to say, like Rihanna gives, energy. That energy is, it's tingly. I think you want to chase it. Like, I remember Rihanna was like 100 months pregnant, I think, with the first baby, and she just had on like a bralette, some like leggings, and some stiletto heels. Ate down. It was so sexy. Oof. It just was nom, 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 nom. Like, it's just yummy. So I think in that way, again, not attracted to women, but I can appreciate a thing. I can appreciate energy. I can appreciate sexiness. And I think Sway's got something to her that I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. So love that. And the dude Mike is cute. He is. He reminds me, if like Brutus was happy, like from Popeye, like if he was happy, like I imagine, like he looks like a cartoon character. And I get it, that big tall hunk of man, you go, yeah, I have your baby. But I also understand like that being a deal breaker. Again, I'm 46 years old. I can't have no baby, never. I wouldn't. Don't come over here. And that also changes the game when you are dating someone who doesn't have kids, right? Like, my sister was saying at one point that she could date a little 32-year-old. I think she said 31. And I was like, why 31? And she was like, well, because then you could say they're in their 30s. And she went, 32, because then you can say that they're officially, like, heartily in their 30s. And so she said it's before they get a chance to get like corrupted. And I was like, oh no, sis, they get corrupted earlier than that. Um, but 32, no, I could never play with a 32-year-old, because like he might want kids. And I don't want kids. I don't want them. I don't want to have them. And I got a billion of them. So I'm in my stage, like it's time for me to, like, right, I'm anticipating being a grandmother. And I'm going to be a crappy grandma at first, because I'm just not interested, because I don't want to take care of anyone else. I just want to focus on myself and only worry about myself for a little bit. So grandkids, if any one of them know what's good for them and my ability to help, they should wait 10 years. Yeah, 56 is about, I could probably be ready to sit down and like help and put my hands in with grandchildren, but not now. I'm just not interested. So if they make a grandbaby between now and my 10-year mark, I'm not ready, and I'm not going to be that great of a grandma. And my friends tell me like that's terrible of me, because I had wonderful grandparents, and I just ain't them. So it ain't gonna happen for my kids. Bless their little hearts. So again, dating. I think dating is so important. Get to really know this person. Get to really think about what you want. Think about what your future is and rattle that off. Let them know what you see in the future, because you may find that you all are not aligned, in the way that you think that you would be. And that could impact your relationship. But also, if you're just down for a little, like, hey, let's just test it out and see how it goes, go for it. But if you're looking for something long term and intentional, you've got to have real, excuse me, really serious conversations. Talk about money, how you spend money, what your priorities for your money are. Where do you see yourself? How do you want to build? Are you a country person? Are you a city person? Are you a dog person? Are you a cat person? Like, you need to know all of those things. Do you make the bed up? Like, what are your cleaning habits? That's why I believe you should live with somebody before you decide to like marry and all the things. Like, I think you should know them in every season, all seasons of their life, when they're happy, when they're sad, when they're disappointed, when they're angry, right? As someone other than yourself, and when they're angry with you. You should travel together. Like, these are all things that you should know, which for me is why, like, biblically speaking, like, not to have the relations before marriage is crap. Don't do that. Have the relations and know them well. Know what you like, what you don't like, you know, all the things. All the things that matter to you, get that out the way and ask those questions. Okay, good, great. Now, the most interesting part, really honestly, was at the party. Okay, so they get to the party. Finally, Angela comes. Ashley's there. I see you, Shamea. And Angela kept saying, I get vindicated, I get vindicated, making it as though Shamea was a liar. And that's the biggest part. Angela's story fell apart in Scotland, but I do appreciate Kelly. Kelly is a real one, because here we go with Shamea apologizing again. And I do get it. Yes, apologize to them for making it uncomfortable. That's appropriate. You should do that. Okay, great. But the reason why I guess the people do not believe you, Shamia, because you keep apologizing. So you throw the stone and then you apologize. And I guess what they're asking you is, don't throw the stone first, right? Whatever. So now that Angela's here and Ashley says, well, you did ask about T. And she was like, oh, I asked you if you knew her. She was like, yeah, that insinuates asking T. And I agree with Ashley on that. To go, oh, you know so and so? Matter of fact, someone did that to me. Like, oh, did you see her post? Girl, say what you gonna say, because you're already implying it and being messy anyway, right? So, like, really, that's what it is. We know that. You know that. Cut it out, Angela. Okay, fine. So then Angela, now in a corner, goes, oh no, it's Shamea that told Ashley that George said that they slept together. And that's not what George said. I said it. Angela, it's implied. You implied that you got that information because you spoke it with facts. You didn't say, oh, well, you said, well, because you said George said it himself. And you absolutely put 100 on a dollar, and like, I don't know. It's so confusing. And you know it and everybody else knows it, which Kelly was right to call that out. Y'all are okay with Shamea's marriage being talked about, and it's going, ooh, well, I guess, because Angela ain't no liar and all this other stuff. So you never gave Shamea the benefit of the doubt. What you did is you made her guilty before you got to the bottom of anything. You had already decided that Angela was telling the truth, because he said the first time that he met her, she looked so good, he had to pay for it or something like that. It looked like it was at an auction or something like that. So he was just being silly, because George is married. And then you telling his wife, well, it preceded you. That didn't precede. She had been married for a while, enough so for you to go ask about this girl. Cut this out, Angela. And that's all it is. You carry mess. Just like you had told Pinky, oh, just like you got that person in your basement. Like, those reads are trifling and unnecessary and ridiculous. And again, all it says is, Charles is a sore spot for you, so you make it everybody else's issue. But cut that out. And the friend group was wrong for allowing it to go down the way that it did. And nobody chastised Angela. And that's problematic. So, and that's just where we are on that. So, Angela, whack. That's super whack. You're whack. Everybody that went for that, super whack. I do not like it. Sam, I am. and still trying to make it so that Angela was right and not saying that Shamea was in fact absolved of this cheating stuff that you accused her of. Y'all are whack. And again, the fix is in. That's what it looks like, and that's just that. And so I'm there. And then the bum conversation. Can I tell you, I think we all think sometimes like our booty is juicier than it is. Okay, maybe not y'all, but I do. I think my booty is juicier than it is. And then I've seen that thing and I went, oh, she's not. She's not that juicy. So I definitely, it's okay, right? So I've got hips, it's wide. So, right? It's like that, but it don't give a peach, it don't give a bubble, it don't give none of that. It don't. I wish that it did. And maybe if I was inclined to go to the gym and do squats and stuff, maybe it could, but I ain't that inclined. So it just is going to be what it is. And that's that. So if I got a flat booty, so what? But the read, like I just don't understand the reading for no reason. Like, oh, it looks a little misshapen and misformed, and maybe it's Kelly's or maybe it's Drew's or whatever. Like, cut that out. Can it just be what it is? Could it be natural and that just be what it is? Everybody don't got a juicy booty. Like, can we have some flat booties and it be all right? Right? Like, little booties matter, flat booties matter, and y'all just shading each other for no reason. And I really just, I don't like that, Sam. I am. And then it gets derailed by whatever Shamea's husband, Jared, what's his name? Gerald. So Gerald is like, come on, I got a surprise. And is some person standing outside that Drew's dating a horse. Cut this. That looked so dumb. It just looked dumb. It looked out of place. It looked, Drew, like maybe you had asked him, because if you didn't know he was coming or you really not checking for him, how did he know what you were wearing to bring you a horse? Why would he bring you a horse and you in this cowgirl situation? Like, none of that makes sense. I just don't like any of it. Just whack. I just, bleh, pooey. Um, And that really is pretty much it. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, that was it, was Angela's read to Kelly when she was like, Kelly, you don't have a husband or a house. So what does that mean? Exactly. What exactly, what are you saying? So what? She ain't got a house and she ain't got a husband. So she divorced her husband. And what are we talking about? So now what? Does she not worthy? Is she not worthy of what? What status is she not worthy of because she don't have a husband or a house that she's renting? Okay, that she's open about. Like, that doesn't feel like a read. It just feels just disgusting. And again, like, so now is it that we have to have men in order to make us, I don't know, relevant? What is having a husband do? Just wondering, Angela. Especially when every time somebody talk about your husband, they're talking about how he don't want to be married to you, girl. And then you go, yes, he does. You got to argue down with somebody about your marriage. So what? Why would you do it? I guess that's my question. Like, Angela, I guess you want to be Reed Queen, but it just isn't. It don't give, sis. And the fact that you are making up shit is just yucky. And then it makes me question all that you had going on with Phaedra last year. So it just looks like manufactured nonsense. And who wants that? Like, nobody. I don't know. Maybe the people do. Anywho, that's been that. And let's see what the season finale gives. It's probably gonna give boring. I'm not. I don't know. It didn't really pack a punch. Anywho, that's been that. It's been this, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.